The Texans finish off the sweep of the Titans and keep the playoff push going. Welcome into the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans as they beat the Tennessee Titans yet again. 2 for 2 on the season against Tennessee 2 weeks ago in Nashville. Today in Houston, the result the same. The Texans get the win. This one not nearly as close as that matchup a couple of weeks ago, in large part thanks to C.J. Stroud being back, the offense being much better, but the defense played their tail off, securing a win, guaranteeing a winning record for the Houston Texans for the first time since 2019, but most importantly, getting them one step closer to the playoffs this season. Your 4 big takeaways from this game brought to you by J-Bar M. Incredible barbecue down in Edo, 2201 Leland Street. Go visit them. Lunch, dinner, whatever kind of barbecue you want, J-Bar M does it. The beer garden's incredible outside for watching any sports. You got basketball, you got Cougar basketball, you got college basketball, you got football while it's still here as the playoffs roll on. J-Bar M's got you covered. Big takeaways. First one, C.J. Stroud eases back into this thing. The Texans had to figure out exactly what C.J. Stroud was going to be capable of coming back off the concussion, and they had to do that by making stuff easy, simple, don't get him hit, operate as you need to operate early on, and Stroud got out there and knocked a little rust off. Just over 200 passing yards for C.J. Stroud. The chances of beating a lot of those rookie records are gone, mostly because he missed those couple of games, but I liked this ease back in for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Asked him after the game, hey, was that by design? Did Bobby Slowick kind of put that together for you? And he said, yes and no. We want to kind of ease into this thing, but he gave offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick a lot of credit, quarterback coach Sherrod Johnson a lot of credit for having him what he felt like was game speed in practice, and then he was ready to go from the word go in the game against the Titans. Those first couple of drives, really impressive. Take what the Titans were giving them is what Stroud mentioned after. The Titans did not want to give up the big shots. So C.J. Stroud, Devin Singletary, that offense, they moved that ball down the field. And what's there? They take care of it. Stroud still had some of those really nice throws, a couple of sideline passes that he's come to be known for, where he hit Nico Collins over on the sideline. So a couple of impressive passes, nothing otherworldly, nothing incredible, but it's great to see C.J. Stroud out there get warmed up, ramped up, because you're going to need more on offense to beat the Colts on the road next week and find yourself in the playoffs. So this was a nice warm-up. I like the way Bobby Slowick, C.J. Stroud, Sherrod Johnson, the entire offensive staff approached this thing. Good job by the offensive line protecting him. The only sack he took was that one where he kind of scrambled around. It was a long one, and then it wasn't even a bad sack. Didn't get hit a bunch in this game. Didn't put himself at risk. So really good job overall by C.J. Stroud and the offense to get warmed up and fire up, prime the engines for next week when hopefully you see some of that patented big-time, big-play offense that C.J. Stroud and this Texans team have showcased earlier this year. Big takeaway number 2 brought to you by friends at J-Bar M. The defensive line dominated again. Will Anderson was questionable heading into this one. Malik Collins was questionable heading into this one. Sheldon Rankins was questionable heading into this one. And Jonathan Grenard was out. Those are your 4 starters. So no Grenard. And then when the start gets here, we find out Malik Collins isn't going to play pregame. So you have Sheldon Rankins, Jerry Hughes filling in for Will Anderson initially. He actually got the start. Obviously, Anderson got worked in there eventually, but the D-line took care of business. Whether it was Jerry Hughes firing off the edge and probably ending Will Levis's season, knocking the ball away and hitting him big, Sheldon Rankins scoop and score. You love a big guy touchdown, and you love that situation for Sheldon Rankins. Or maybe it was Will Anderson firing off the edge in back-to-back plays in that final drive of the first half and just dominating Ryan Tannehill and company, and Anderson really showcasing what makes him a dangerous and fearsome defensive lineman. He's near the top of the rookie leaderboard when it comes to sacks. He set the Texans' single-season rookie sack record with his 7 sacks on the season. Obviously a chance to add to that next week. Man, if they could get Jonathan Grenard back next week. Anderson talked about how tough this week was to get ready to play, had to do a lot of rehab and working out and play through the pain. And, he still looked like he was playing through the pain as he was walking away from the podium and walking back into the training room to get more treatment on that ankle injury. But if they can get Grenard back, you got Anderson. If you get Malik Collins back next week, and then you think about the backup guys, Majai Sanders in there with a play or two. Derek Barnett, who's been a really nice just grab in the middle of the year from the waiver wire. The Texans added him. Barnett's been a nice pickup. He had a couple of nice plays against the Titans as well. Khalil Davis, Kurt Heinisch. They've got really good depth, and that defensive line sets the tone for the Texans defense. The defensive line kicked the Titans' tail. They're going to have to do the same thing to the Indianapolis Colts next week, regardless of who plays. Rankins or no Rankins, Collins or no Collins, Grenard or no Grenard, Anderson or no Anderson. They've got to do the same thing next week if the Texans have designs on playing in the playoffs. Big takeaway number 3 brought to you by J Bar M. Devin Singletary, my goodness. When this team is going to be humming on offense, it's going to involve Devin Singletary taking care of business. He goes over 1,000 scrimmage yards on the season in this game. He is one of the most important elements of this offense. They can't be one-dimensional. We'll talk about why one-dimensional will be tough to do in just a moment, but Devin Singletary has to run the football. They have to run the football well, and he has done a really nice job here in the second half of the season, really taking the opportunity, making the most of it, going out there, running the football hard, and he just blows through tackles sometimes. Devin Singletary is one of the most important parts of this team if they have designs on success next week, if they have designs on success beyond next week, should they be victorious. Singletary's got to continue to play well. He played well again against the Tennessee Titans, and you saw what that offense can look like when Singletary is helping them keep drives alive. There's no 1st and 15s. There's no 2nd and 12s. When the Texans are on schedule and playing in rhythm, they're a tough offense to stop, even without Tank Dell, even without guys 100% in the wide receiver room. They are a tough offense to stop when they can get on schedule and not play behind the chains, and Singletary is one of the most important parts of that. He was fantastic yet again against the Tennessee Titans. Your 4th big takeaway brought to you by J Bar M. The injuries are starting to pile up at key spots. Laramie Tunsil left this game in the first half, did not return. That's something to monitor. George Fant is your backup left tackle. It looks like he's the one that filled in for Tunsil in the game after Tunsil left. So George Fant in for Laramie Tunsil. While Tunsil's down, you certainly would love to have Tunsil on the field next week against the Colts. Robert Woods and Noah Brown both left this game with an injury. Noah Brown in the first half didn't come back. Robert Woods late in the game. You start looking around the wide receiver room. Nico Collins is the only guy that's healthy that you can trust. You can't trust Xavier Hutchinson. You can't trust John Metchie, who had another drop again against the Titans. You can't trust those guys. You desperately need Robert Woods and Noah Brown healthy. Steven Sims is on the practice squad. Maybe there's a conversation about adding somebody from free agency this week if those injuries start to trend the wrong way. You only got 6 days to get ready. You only got 5 days to figure out if these guys are going to play or not, or if they have a chance to play, because that injury report comes out on Friday. So you really need Robert Woods, Noah Brown, and Laramie Tunsil to get right. Not to mention, there's always stuff that pops up from the game. How's Will Anderson going to feel after this game? Can Jonathan Grenard come back? Can Malik Collins come back next week? How's Sheldon Rankins going to be feeling after this game? It's Cashman's first action in a couple of weeks. How's he going to be feeling after this game? So injuries, something to monitor. They're starting to stack up for the Texans. What else is new? They've been hurt and dinged up basically all season long. But super key injuries to pay attention to over the course of the next 4-5 days. Your first injury report on Wednesday. The big day, got to practice on Thursday most of the time to play on the weekend, though it's not unheard of that guys will practice just Friday. Will Anderson did it just last week. Those are your 4 big takeaways. A winning season in the books for the Texans, but there's still a lot to play for. Win, and they're in next week in Indianapolis against the Colts. No official announcement on when that game is played. Could be played on Saturday. There's a couple of games that will be scheduled for Saturday. Could be played on Sunday at either of the windows. I highly doubt they'll play on Sunday Night Football, though. That seems destined to have the Bills and the Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. So 4 different opportunities in 2 days for the Texans to play. Be on the lookout for when that game is announced, and be on the lookout for more great stuff here on the YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you supporting the video. I'd love a thumbs up on this video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our friends at J-Bar-M when the new year gets going. Incredible barbecue over there. And hey, if you're trying to, watch what you eat, not eat so much, man, protein's fantastic for you. They got tons of different proteins, and you want to go a little bit lighter. Hey, I don't want to do the fatty brisket. I don't want to have all that. Their turkey's incredible. They got chicken as well. J-Bar-M will take care of you no matter if you want to keep those New Year's resolutions or you want to keep fantastic barbecue on your plate. J-Bar-M will take care of you. Appreciate you taking care of me here by watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Can't wait till we talk Texans again soon.